Mamas. I'm Christina Boda. I'm a team leader with Usborne Books and More, and I'm just really excited to share with you kind of our journey with homeschooling, public school, homeschooling again, and all the things that are happening right now in our world. I'm sure we are all scrambling. Doesn't matter what age our kids are, preschool, elementary, middle school, high school, we're trying to figure it all out. So I wanted to just kind of join you tonight, hopefully ease your mind a little bit, and show you that this homeschooling journey is not as hard as it needs to be, whether you're choosing online, some form of school and online, or you're just doing full-on homeschooling. Whatever your decision is, it is a brave choice, and I applaud you for it. There are so many unknowns in our world right now, so I just wanted to let you know, whatever your decision is, you make for your family, and I'm proud of you. It's a big decision. I wanted to talk with you. We all probably have a lot of concerns. Maybe you've never homeschooled before and you're thinking, how in the world am I going to have the time for this? I'm also working. Maybe you're not working, but I have other kids, all different ages and needs, and how am I going to meet all of their needs every single day? So we're going to address that and how we have used Usborne Books and More as part of our homeschool to supplement and enhance and even use as part of our curriculum. So right now, we all know we're in just kind of weird times, and I think right now, all of us moms, parents, we just need to be flexible. I think that is a word I learn more and more every single day. But really, right now, everybody is in a weird transition time and trying to figure life out. And of course, we're probably wanting to keep our kids on track, and we don't want them to lose any skills. We don't want to do them a disservice. And so I wanted just to talk to you about these concerns of yours. I'm sure we all have them. I've talked to a lot of moms recently, and they have them too. So you are probably not alone. So first off, I just want to tell you, keep it simple. We are not in a time where we need to add more stress. So keep it simple. So you might ask, what does simple look like when you're homeschooling? Life is crazy, you're at home, you still have to do all the mom things, all the house things, maybe you're working too. So for keeping it simple, here's some things that work for homeschoolers. If you're doing online or a hybrid, you might be not as able to be as flexible, but give yourself some grace. When you are homeschooling, a lot of people like to do 6 weeks on and 1 week break, 6 weeks on and 1 week break. So maybe for 6 weeks, you just focus on the main, like the extra subjects, not extra, but they're important, the science and the social studies and the art and the music. So maybe you pick like science and art for 6 weeks and do one science, one art a week for the 6 weeks, take a week break, see how it went, and then switch. The next time do 6 weeks of social studies or history or something like that, and then do your music, or the opposite, flip-flop it however you would like. But don't pressure yourself to do it every subject, every single day. It's just not realistic. And as a teacher, I can vouch that I have not done all of those things in my classroom every single day. It's just not possible. Also, a really great way to tie all of these things in, and when you do art or science or social studies or some of those things that are not the critical, like math and writing and reading and language arts and all that stuff that's like core to all of our future success, bring friends in, and you can do science with a friend. There's a really great website called mysteryscience.com, or read books together or do a science experiment together. Just grab one or two other families or one or two other friends that want to do it with you. That'll be a huge way to socialize, get kids together, talking and doing an activity together. Another idea is to have grandparents join in as well, or aunts and uncles that maybe are gifted in an area that can help just facilitate conversations, and even using YouTube videos to guide conversations, using Usborne books to also guide conversations. We have lots of amazing art books and music books and history books to do that as well. We've even done in our homeschool where we have just like a big party night. We have like a big celebrate Brazil night, and we have a whole night to celebrate, and we'll do art from that country, and we'll do food from that country, and we'll do all kinds of things and invite our whole family. So if you're hanging out with just family right now, that's a great thing to do. Another thing to consider is asking yourself, I guess this should have been first, but asking yourself, what do you hope to get out of this year? This is just it's a crazy time for everyone. So ask yourself, what do you hope to remember this year? And what do you hope your kids remember this year? Do you hope that they have good memories? Do you want to remember that do they want to look back and remember joy and laughter and happiness and memory making and adventures and whatever it is? What do you want your kids to remember? That they had to, a lot of stress put on them and you guys were arguing all day? Like, probably not. So consider that for you and consider it for your kids. And when you ask yourself those questions, it'll really guide how you run your day and how you run your homeschool or your hybrid school or even school if you're sending your kids to school. That's a great question to ask yourself, and how you can help your kids each day to embrace those however you respond to those questions. Third, I would consider asking yourself the question, if you're looking for a curriculum, do you want something that has a worldview, or do you want something that has a Christian view or a godly view? There are curriculums out there to meet all of those needs. There are Usborne books to meet all of those needs. And that's a really important question to ask yourself when you're looking for curriculum and supplemental materials to enhance your daily work as well. You also want to ask yourself, do you want to do unit studies? So like, my kids were really excited about dogs. So we're going to do adding with dogs. We're going to do subtracting with dogs. We're going to do science with dogs, the history of dogs, learning about the geography of where all the dogs and the breeds came from. Whatever your kid is interested in, that's really a fun way to learn. When they're really excited about something, they're going to dive into it and they're all in. So that's a really interesting way to do it. So that's the unit studies. There's also just ways to do hands-on learning. There are ways to do open and go, like workbooks ready to go, check, 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 you are ready to go. Fourth, remember, homeschooling, hybrid schooling cannot be and won't look like school at home. It's just not possible. As a homeschool mom, and also I taught in public schools, I can tell you it just doesn't jive. My first year of homeschooling, I tried to recreate homeschool at home, and I had my schedule, I had color coding all day long, and I was so stressed out because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 10:30 and we're not doing blah blah blah. Well, life happens and kids use the bathroom and cut themselves, and somebody's knocking at the front door. So be flexible and don't try to recreate school at home. Enjoy the time that you have. And if you are only doing school for an hour, maybe a half an hour, depending on your kids' ages, you're probably doing enough. So keep in mind, as a teacher, I'm telling you, we spend a lot of time as transition time from one thing to another, time in the hallway, and different classrooms, different activities. So you're okay if you don't sit down and you're doing schoolwork for 7 hours a day. And especially if you're, just with one kid at a time, even if you have 3 or 4 kids at home or more, just 15 minutes of one-on-one attention is going to be way more efficient than sitting in a classroom with an hour-long subject, a math class or a reading class or an English class. So just remember that one-on-one time with your kids, first of all, is precious, and second of all, is way more effective when you are teaching and listening and having a conversation with them. Also, I want you to keep in mind, I'm going to read this off so I don't get this wrong, but this is a general guideline of how long you should be spending with schoolwork per day, per grade level. So you'll be pretty shocked when you're homeschooling. Preschool, 15 to 30 minutes. That's it. You're doing colors, shapes, poems, songs, and all of that can be done throughout the day, sitting on the potty, at lunch. A lot of things can be done other times, puzzles, matching, all those kinds of things. Kindergarten, 30 minutes to an hour. First and second grade, about an hour, hour and a half. Third and fourth grade, hour and a half to 3 hours. Fifth to sixth grade, 2.5 to 3.5 hours. 7th and 8th grade, 3 to 4.5 hours, depending on how focused you are. And high schoolers, it could be anywhere from 3.5 hours to 6 hours, depending on how much you're covering every single day. So that really just goes to show you that life learning happens through a lot of other things outside of the textbook learning. So reading books, having great conversations, enjoying sitting down, looking at art books, doing art together. All of those things can happen outside of the focused, much needed reading, math, writing, the core subjects. Fifth, a lot of people have asked me, oh, well, I need to send my kid to school so they have socialization and they can be with their friends. I get it. I have heard this many times, and I'm going to be very honest with you. As a teacher, at least where I taught, there was very little time to let my kids socialize. I taught down in Florida, and this was just how it was where I was at. But my kids did not get recess. Many days they had silent lunch because the lunchroom got too loud. In the classroom, they're sitting and listening unless I conducted group activities and lessons that needed to be working in groups. So really, when we homeschool, I was involved in groups almost 2-3 times a week, seeing 55 kids in one day to 20 in another day. And we would plan field trips, we would plan outings. So socializing with a wide range of ages looks very different. Homeschoolers just socialize differently because they are hanging out with families that range from babies all the way up to 15-year-olds. So they're learning to work with all of these ages and parents and grandparents and they're not affected by, well, you're older than me and I'm not going to hang out with you, or you're younger than me and I'm not going to hang out with you. They just hang out. So the socializing aspect, I think, is amazing, and it's really intriguing being around the homeschool world. So you might need to go find 1 or 2 other moms, up to 5, I don't know, whatever you're comfortable with all that's going on. Reach out to some moms and see who is willing. Maybe one mom is really excited about art, one mom with music, one mom likes to plan nature walks, another mom maybe can do science experiments, and that's 4 weeks. That's 4 moms, and one mom can take a week and plan an activity. Maybe you can even have that mom be in charge and take all the kids and everybody else gets a break. Figure it out. There's so many creative options right now, and you're free to make your choice. I hope that eases your mind with some of the craziness and all the questions that I keep getting these days, and help you kind of ease your mind into the idea of homeschooling or hybrid school or online learning. There are so many ways that you can still help your kids and you won't hurt them. You're not going to affect their lifelong journey of learning in 6 months to a year, I promise. So if you are here, it means you are probably very intentional and you care about your kids' education, and you want the best for them. So I applaud you for the decisions you have to make right now, and I hope that tonight, as we take a look at some of our awesome UBAM books and how we have used them in our homeschool, and how preschoolers you can actually create your own curriculum just with Usborne books, and all the way up through middle school and high school. There's some amazing books, so I'm excited to show you, and can't wait to hear how you guys are bonding in your house, making memories, reading aloud together, and just enjoying this crazy journey that we're all in right now.